When computing systems tackle massive data sets, they rely on algorithms breaking large problems into smaller tasks. These operations branch outwards, compounding exponentially at every step. To multiply two matrices, the classical divide-and-conquer approach splits the grid and executes 8 recursive multiplications. Every time the matrix size doubles, the computational workload increases by a factor of 8. This yields a heavy time complexity of big O of n cubed. Comparing the classical approach to Strassen's alternative, Strassen processes the same data using only 7 recursive multiplications. By dropping one multiplication, the total time complexity decreases from O of n cubed to O of n to the 2.807. One fewer multiplication per recursive step sounds like a trivial optimization in the context of thousands of calculations, yet removing that one localized arithmetic step lowers the entire mathematical ceiling for how quickly a system can process large-scale data. To understand how removing a single recursive step produces such a drastic shift in scaling, we must first map the algorithm's mechanics into a formal recurrence relation. This equation is the standard template used to model divide-and-conquer algorithms. It measures the total time, t of n, required to solve a problem of size n. The variable a represents the quantity of recursive calls the algorithm generates. The variable b is the division factor. It indicates the proportion by which the initial data is reduced at each step. Finally, f of n accounts for the additional work, the baseline computational cost required to set up the recursion and combine the results. Applying Strassen's specific constraints to this template, we replace a with 7, matching his optimized multiplication count. Because the original matrix is split into 4 smaller submatrices, each exactly half the width and height of the original, our b factor becomes 2. To combine these 7 recursive products, Strassen's method executes distinct matrix additions and subtractions. Processing them requires touching every element exactly once, giving that overhead a time complexity of O of n squared. We now have the explicit mathematical engine dictating Strassen's speed. T of n equals 7 t of n over 2 plus big O of n squared. We can visualize exactly how this workload compounds by mapping the equation onto a recursion tree. This tree starts at level 0, the root. The computational cost here is simply the initial overhead, n squared. The algorithm then divides the data, branching downward to generate 7 distinct subproblems at level 1. Because the matrix dimensions have been cut in half, the specific cost of processing a single node on this level is n over 2 squared. Adding up all 7 nodes gives us the total horizontal workload for level 1, 7/4 n squared. Expanding to level 2, those 7 subproblems each generate 7 more, resulting in 49 active operations. The total aggregated cost for this tier climbs to 49/16 n squared. A precise geometric pattern emerges. At any given depth, level I, the total computational operations equal n squared multiplied by 7/4 to the power of I. Notice the scaling factor. Because 7/4 is strictly greater than 1, the raw volume of work strictly increases the deeper we travel into the recursion. The tree finally terminates when the submatrices are reduced to a size of 1. This dense bottom boundary sits at a depth of log base 2 of n. Because the workload expands structurally at every tier, the final time complexity is completely dominated by the massive proliferation of leaf nodes at the bottom. While the tree maps the process visually, we can lock in this complexity bound using the algebraic shorthand of the master theorem. Looking at our equation, we extract our parameters, an a value of 7, a b value of 2, and an overhead function of n squared. The first critical step is calculating the recursive exponent, defined as log base b of a. Substituting our specific parameters, we set up the calculation of log base 2 of 7. That mathematically evaluates to roughly 2.807. The second step compares our overhead cost, n squared, against our new recursive power of n to the 2.807. Evaluating the exponents, 2 is strictly less than 2.807. Because the recursive cost outscales the overhead, this matches master theorem case 1. This theorem confirms what the tree showed us. The recursive branches vastly overpower the overhead additions, permanently locking the time complexity at O of n to the 2.807. Abstract asymptotics explain the theoretical limits, but algorithms run on physical hardware. The real-world performance depends heavily on the scale of the data. This table compares the exact number of recursive calls generated by the classical method against Strassen's algorithm at each level of depth. At level 1, the hardware processes 8 operations versus 7. The difference is computationally negligible. Moving to level 2, the classical method requires 64 calls against Strassen's 49. At level 3, it's 512 against 343. By level 4, the gap widens to over 1,600 distinct computational calls. We can chart this compounding divergence by plotting computation time against the matrix size n. As the input scales up, the O of n cubed curve climbs vertically, rapidly exhausting processing power. The Strassen curve maintains a significantly lower trajectory. However, despite this mathematical superiority, Strassen's algorithm is rarely implemented in basic consumer software. Generating those 7 subproblems requires processing-heavy matrix additions, which introduces hidden time constants. Furthermore, storing the intermediate matrices at every recursive level demands significant temporary memory allocation. As a strict engineering rule, when processing small datasets, the time spent managing the structural overhead makes the classical method faster. Strassen becomes vital only once you cross a threshold of immense scale. When processing massive matrices for machine learning weights, complex computer graphics, or high-density scientific modeling, that computational crossover point is reached. Strassen's optimization demonstrates that eliminating even one operation at the root of a recursive tree significantly reduces the total computational debt accumulated across every subsequent level.